Where is Relics? When is Relics? Why is Relics? Are those questions that you have? Well, a lot of players have them. You're probably Drax, but we can try and answer some of those questions right now. So whether you have been or whether you haven't been living under a rock, that's right, some people live under Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you might have noticed that we are getting ourselves some Relic Shards. Depending on your place in the game, you are going to be potentially getting some of these lovely shards. Whether or not you're like myself, you're Paragon, or you're below, you might be seeing things like 4-star, for example, Relic Crystal Shards. And then you're seeing 1,000 3-star Relic Crystal Shards. And let's face it, those are the ones for certain players that will see the most because they're the less rarer. And as soon as you hit places like Thronebreaker, and yeah, I think it's Thronebreaker. I think Cavalier might have a chance at some things. Yeah, actually, I tell a lie. There is stuff available for Cavalier, especially if you do epic difficulty and legendary difficulty, which is definitely what Cavalier players can do. So yeah, Relic Shards. You're like, oh great, I've got these, and then you're probably wondering to yourself, oh, I'm going to my shard section, and kind of going, yeah, what the, whoa, where, whoa. Some players are actually saying that word for word. So you might be going to yourself, where the heck are these particular shard things? I've got myself the alloys. That's great. I gonna need as well, not just the basic one, but I'm gonna need the class one. Those two things you're gonna need because you want a relic. That's very simple. But then more questions. Where the heck are these particular things? Now I've done a news thing and another video that's got like a snippet of them. So I've done 2 videos that have got snippets kind of covering this particular subject. But I thought I'd make a video just like fully devoted to that particular subject, just so people know, because not everybody gets to see it at all the videos, but this one with the topic might interest those particular players. And at this point, it's still very much unknown how these are going to come into game. From what I gather, relics were meant to be mostly associated with battlegrounds, which again is a whole kind of subject that needs to be unpacked as to whether or not they were balanced and imbalanced, those particular things. And I personally would say it will be important to look out for the future battlegrounds store, which, you know, we're in the battleground store at the moment. You can see it's on screen right now. That we may see something associated with the rank up of them or acquisition of relics in some sort of way. 6-star Relic Shards, and again there's another chase thing in order to kind of like get yourself all, you know, head around, because hey, if it wasn't, you know, competitive annoying to be chasing 6 stars that you need, now you've got to think about rank 5ing those 6 stars, getting 7-star shards for 7 stars in the future, 6-star relics, and, you know, relics in general, and duping said relics and ranking up said relics by getting things like Embers and alloys. Alloys being your rank up material and Embers being your level up material. I'm going to be doing a small, hopefully like a 2 to 5 minute relics explained video, which I'm probably going to drop when, you know, relics are in game. Because I don't want to do something based on the CTP server, because it's unrealistic expectations for players, and I just don't think that's very fair to the player base to go, oh, by the way, 6 stars, go chase 6-star relics, because hey, if you didn't have stress enough in game, go get more stressed out with farming everything and getting burnt out in the process. Ding! And by the way, that was complete sarcasm. I do mean it as a joke. I still will grind out to get these things, so because Kabam aren't going to like go, do you know what, the player base really doesn't like relics, we're going to pull them from it. They're not going to do that. Let's face it, they're going to continue on with them. So sadly, we need to move with the sign of the times, and the sign of the times will be to get into the mix with being as competitive as possible to get out of those pesky little things, and how they're going to improve little champions and get strikers for their troubles, of course. But look, the question is, we'll get to the point of the video, which is now, is that Kabam are waiting for those. There was a weird message, which again we covered on the channel 2 times mentioned, in that they put this message out saying like, oh, by the way, yeah, they haven't worked, so we're pulling them. I'm thinking, what? You haven't even released them yet. What are you talking about, Kabam? You drunk? But look, the question is about relics, and the question would be about when's the release. Because a lot of people were kind of like going, okay, wasn't this meant to be with the release, which was last Wednesday? It's hard to believe, like a week in MCOC just goes by like that. You get an AQ cycle, you get Alliance Wars 3 times, and as well you get new events and so many other things to grind out in game. It's like a week goes so quickly. 3 MCNs a week and it's like it's done. But in any case, in answer to the question about the release, Relics aren't going to be released. Going to get released until later this month. As I said, my guess is that this was going to tie into Cyber Weekend. In that, pretty much you're not unable to form anything. Yes, there is a volume of Relic Shards, which we've, if you've followed the channel, you know that we did a side quest. I'm just going to get up in screen, actually, the November side quest totals for Relics. Because we still don't know the increment. That's the weird thing. We don't know the increments. What's an increment? Increment is basically the volume of the crystal. So basically, is the crystal going to come in increments of 2,000, as in like a 3-star and 4-star, similar to how the 4-star crystal is, because if you go into game and you go look at your crystals and you look at the shard crystal section, you'll notice that it's 2,000 4-star shards a piece, and the 3-star is 2,000 shards a piece. So therefore, does it pinpoint that a Relic 5-star shard crystal is going to be, as it is in game, a 5,000 increment, or is it going to be more than that, or is it going to be less than that? I personally think it will kind of go in the same way as some of the other crystals. So like 10k for a 5-star, 10k for a 6-star version. It's weird actually, because you think like, well, if Kabam are treating it like those, and this is maybe the contradiction, is that Kabam may treat it like the ones that they did, they may treat it like a different one. Because you think about it, like, well, look, it's difficult enough to try and get a 5-star. Well, it's difficult enough to get, being a Paragon player, it's not difficult to get a 5-star crystal. So should it be as equally difficult to get a 5-star Relic crystal? Again, these are things to kind of consider and mull around. So from a Paragon perspective, you will get 4,000 3-star Relic. The reason that I kind of find this a bit weird is that, or how I feel it will formulate with that 2,000 increment situation, is that you get 4,000 3-star Relic shards as a Paragon player. You get 4,000 4-star shards. So 4,000 Relic shards and 1,500 5-star Relic shards. Bit different when it comes to Cavalier. So Thronebreaker. Sorry, we should go down. Thronebreaker. Get 1,000 5-star shards, Relic ones, and then 3,700 and 4,000 respectively for 3-star ones. So there is like a dropping down, drop. And also when it comes to Cavalier, there is a reduction, and you don't even get any 5-star Relic shards. It's just 500 of 4-star and 2,000 of the 3-star. So there's definitely kind of like questions as to like the volume of that. Yeah, so kind of like round off this video, finish it off. As I said, I do think Cyber Weekend is going to be the day, because we've got 25th November is when Black Friday is situated, and as a lot of you know, that is when we start seeing things like deals, special things. For Paragon players, rank 5 6-star materials. I'm going to be doing a full video about predictions at some point. I think this week I've scheduled in something, but it's going to take a while because I'm going to have to predict about 3 different things, because we've got too many chase rewards at the moment, and will Kabam be putting in stuff, especially considering the fact that if you do get, or we do get at the end of the month, and I kind of feel like maybe the Relic Shard Crystal will drop in with the reroll of Battlegrounds. So that's another thing as well. It's either going to be Cyber Weekend, or it's going to be when the next Battleground season will start. Now, if I got my timing right with that, it's the 21st. Is it the 21st? I believe it is, because we've got 1 week off of Battlegrounds, and then the 21st of November is week on. And that may be when the Battleground store, as I said, this is where potentially we're going to see stuff. We're either going to potentially see stuff in the Battleground store where we get like, shards. You can acquire shards with trophy tokens. So I'm talking about the Relic side of things. Or there's going to be stuff in the Cyber Weekend deals, which drop on the 25th of November. So those are 2 things. It's either going to be Battleground Store on the 21st of November, or it's going to be after Cyber Weekend, which could put it into the 30th of November kind of like time frame. Those are some key dates. 21st of November, look out, just in case. 25th of November, Cyber Weekend. 30th of November, end of the November month. Those are some key dates with that one. So those are the windows that Kabam have got in order to kind of release. And definitely when it comes to Embers and Alloys, which we're chasing at the moment, Alloys seem to be something that is put into I would say, content. Maybe Embers will be, or maybe Embers, because they should be a little bit more accessible. The similar way that there are different places in game, and we've talked about this, the idea that, okay, well, it's similar to ISO. Is it similar to other rank up materials where you should go to a proving grounds on a daily basis to grab resource? Is it going to be something thrusted into something like the Glory Store or other stores? In any case, that's what I just want to do with this video, just to add a bit more clarity to the situation. That has been the video. I thank you all for watching and stuff. Check out some other content which will be located on screen right now. And yeah, I will see you in the next video, whatever and whenever that will be. Tatty byes.